Have you ever been too high? Now, this is something that's not really easy to achieve, especially if you're like a daily smoker. If you're smoking every day, it's really hard to get too high, but it's totally possible. I've done it maybe a handful of times. It doesn't happen too often, but when you're too high, you know. Well, we got a couple of pups today. Well, I was actually reminded of this story. I was talking about it on my Twitch stream the other day, and I figured it would be a pretty good video to make about the time that I got too high at the movies. So this was around the end of 2016, about 6 years ago, when the movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them came out. That's the Harry Potter movie. I'm a Harry Potter fan, so it was really interesting to see some new content about Harry Potter. I was excited to see it. Well, the movie theater that I used to go to was like a 3-minute drive from my house. And at this point in time, I couldn't go anywhere without dabbing my face off. Oh, I got the munchies and I want to go get snacks at 7-Eleven. Let me do some dabs first. Oh, I need to run to the grocery store and pick up some milk. Let me do some dabs first. Oh, I'm running low on dabs and I need to go to the dispensary to get more dabs. Let me do some dabs first. I used to dab it too much. But this movie theater was only a few minutes away from my house, and something about the movies, I've worked in a few movie theaters, most places don't start the movie at the start time. It says the movie starts at 5:15. You get there at 5:15, they're playing trailers for 15 or 20 minutes. Just having this information in my head has done me so many disservices. It has made me late to movies so many times because I'm like, you don't need to arrive on time. You just arrive 10 minutes late and you skip all the trailers. And if you really wanted to see them, you just Google them. They're all online. Anyway, I would do this all the time where I would dab all the way until the start time of the movie and think that I could just run in and be in the movie without missing a moment of it. I'd miss the beginning of almost every movie I'd try to see because I'd play this fucking game. We had this in mind that we didn't want to be late, so I did a few dabs on the e-nail at home, but I brought a setup with me. I didn't drive, so I'm dabbing in the car. It's literally a 3-minute drive. We drove a few blocks, and then we're in the parking lot just doing more dabs in there, getting ready to go watch the movie. And I brought edibles with me at the time. I had some candy bars, and I had some distillate. And I remember the bud tender when I was buying the distillate. It's like, oh, this is all activated. You could just eat that and get high off of it if you want. Which is true. I've eaten distillate before. But it gave me a bad idea. I took one of the candy bars I had, and I broke it in half. And then I took the whole gram of distillate, I covered one half of the candy bar, and then I took the other one and I made a little distillate sandwich. And I just ate that right before going into the movies. Now, usually it's recommended to mix the distillate with something, dilute it in some oil or some butter, and not just eat it raw. But I was like, oh, I'm going to be chewing the candy bar. I'm going to be fine. So I'm ripping dabs in the car. I'm eating this candy bar. The movie's starting in a few moments. I go in, get the tickets, get the snacks, go sit down. Now, it's a little poor planning on my part because sometimes edibles can take 2, 3, even 4 hours to kick in. So I should have ate it way sooner, but on this day, the edibles actually kicked in pretty quick. However, in hindsight, I really did wish I took them sooner. So I'm sitting in the movie, watching it, eating popcorn, whatever snacks I had at the time. I probably brought a vape pen in with me. I was that guy at the time. And everything was going fine until like 45 minutes into the movie. My stomach just started to hurt like really bad. This day is one of the #1 reasons I really don't eat raw distillate anymore, or I won't eat a lot of it. Because yeah, distillate's really sticky. I still had some kind of stuck in my teeth. I remember just trying to like drink a little icy, drink some water and wash it all down. I kind of just feeling my teeth for a bit. They're kind of sticky, you know. The distillate didn't really melt in my mouth, as they say. But like 45 minutes into the movie, my stomach starts hurting. I'm like, fuck, dude, whatever. Let's go to the bathroom. Let's just figure this out. Maybe I just gotta fire one off and I'll be all right. I went into the bathroom and I didn't come back. I think maybe way later I went back for a moment, but I didn't see any of this movie. I don't remember any of it. I haven't rewatched it since. It's kind of been on my list to do rewatch this movie where I missed basically the whole thing because I was so lit. But I was just gone. I'm in the bathroom taking care of business. I'm sitting there like, oh God, dude, is this from eating the raw distillate, chewing the candy bar, and just doing all that distillate? It was like a full gram of it. It's just so thick and sticky. Like I'm in my head trying to picture like how it's going through my stomach. Am I digesting just this super thick oil? Like, I don't think so. I think it's fucking up my stomach acid, and it's just in there just like beating the fuck out of my stomach. I have no idea. I'm just sitting there thinking about how much my stomach hurts, and then the edibles just start hitting. and they don't stop hitting. They're just hitting and hitting and hitting. You know, sometimes when you're like not feeling well and you do this little maneuver on the toilet, bro, my head was stuck on my arms. Like the shit kicked in and I was just on a roller coaster. I was like scared to close my eyes because when I did, I was just going wild. Something about sitting down in that position. There's not a lot of good blood circulation. I'm kind of tall. My feet fall asleep if I sit on the toilet for more than 5 minutes in most toilets. I'm just sitting there feeling like shit going to the moon. If I closed my eyes, it made it worse, but I literally couldn't hold my head up. I just felt like absolute shit. And I was in the bathroom for like an hour or so. I just kept ramping up. I just kept getting higher and higher and higher. My legs were asleep after like 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, if I don't stand up in the next few minutes, I'll be trapped here for eternity. I'll never be able to get up. I felt like I was just like going to pass out on the toilet. And I was fighting it. My legs were asleep. It was actually wild. I really don't know exactly how long I was in the bathroom for. I think it was like close to an hour. I really missed like the majority of the movie because I think by the time I was able to piece myself together, I was able to take care of everything. I think I literally like stood up and kind of just like held on to the sides of the stalls and just kind of like worked my legs a little bit until they woke back up. I still felt like shit, but I felt a little bit better. I ended up going back into, I think it was literally like the end of the movie. Like they're showing all the fun. I don't remember anything that happened just because I'm so lit at the time. I don't even care to pay attention. I'm just like, oh, fuck. All I want to do is go home and lay down. I just sat on a public toilet for an hour, dude. So the movie ended. I went home. It's only a few minute drive, not too big of a deal. I probably did some dabs and went to bed. I honestly don't remember after that. I was just so lit. I was just so high. I was just so trapped in this public bathroom for way too long. But when your legs fall asleep on the toilet, it's literally the worst. Anyway, I'm trying to get too high again soon. I don't know. Maybe you can help me. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon Prime to a Twitch account and you can support my content for free. They give you something called a Twitch Prime subscription, which gives you free channel benefits on my Twitch, but it pays me money. Check it out. For every Prime Genius that subscribes to my Twitch for free, I'm adding 1 milligram of THC to the edible stream next month. We're already over 1,300. Link those primes. And if you want to hear another story of a time I got really high on edibles, check out my first time taking edibles. I got the really high. Later, my dudes.